I don't know. I feel like with my comedy career, like nothing's ever felt easier ever. And it's been progressively going better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
But it always, I was having this conversation with my friend the other day. It's like, I used to worry about spending $400 in a week to make $600, right? And I was like, oh, I've made $200. And now I do the same thing with thousands.
Yeah.
I made a couple of thousand last week, but I spent a couple of thousand as well. I've got the same amount of money, which is more risk and stress.
I
It just feels the same. It just feels the same.
I honestly saw some bitch on Threads because I'm still on
some bitch on Threads is a sick
slur.
Yeah, I know. And she was like, is this like one of these bitches that says she's an influencer, which is even insane for me. Like, surely you can't call yourself an influencer. Anyway, whatever. So this bitch was like, I'm an influencer. You know, wicked. Let me read this, please. And she was like, someone offered me £350 for, like, a company offered her £350 for 1 reel and 2 stories on Instagram. And I just replied, not that I've never replied to anything on Threads in my life, right? And I just saw it. So I said, that is 4 minutes work for me.
That sounds like a good deal.
That was all I said. And then she was
she
like,
complaining?
Yes. So I thought that was cool. So I was like, whoa, that's actually cool. Because I clicked on this bitch's profile.
You call her what she is.
Influencer. An influencer's profile. And she and she was like, nothing. And then I clicked on the Instagram. Her Instagram was like, there is no engagement here at all. And then I was like, so it made me think, oh, she's like, fuck, I'm so glad someone finally. And then she was complaining. She was like, but I've got to edit, but then I've got to put up and they've got to approve it. It's like, yeah, I know how it works.
You're a good influencer. You have good morals. Is that an accurate assessment?
Well, I just turned down a lot of shit, so maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't make my money doing it. Like the pages you see are a massive net loss for me.
Why?
So I make money making content for other people, for other businesses, photography, videography, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But the impression is that, yeah. So I guess I am. I don't know.
Same as Jasky, though.
It just
the
makes
impression is he walks down the street and people are like, dude,
yeah, who's
must be loaded. Where's
who's
the
going to pay
Lamborghini?
him? Yeah, well, who's paying him? No one even thinks that.
Some people do, but then he spends it all on us doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you're already making a loss.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, actually. We just got Big Pay's live show. And we're like, oh, we got to pay for more stuff. Then we got to do more stuff.
Never fucking ends. So I just introduced a P&L into my comedy.
What does that mean?
Like a profit loss. Like, you know, like you do in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Like at the every week I just like, I've got a new system and I
honestly thought when you said that, I'm so far out of the industry, I actually thought you meant like that was a PR brand or something like that, like P&L PR.
Oh, like I just got P&L. I just got P&L.
What the fuck is that?
I've engaged P&L.
Yeah.
P&L's really hot on me right now.
That would be a cool way to do it, though.
I remember when I was head chef, and you would same thing. You get to the end of the week and you sit down in that meeting and you look at it and you go, "Is that how much we made? Is that after everything? After the 12 people at the front and the 8 out the back and the all of the things and the food and like we had $90,000 come through the door on the weekend, but we like how much we didn't make any money, or we
spent $87,000 on wages.
Yep, they're like the fridge broke and it fucked everything. Like,
yeah.
You can see why people pull their hair out.
But also when the fridge breaks, the fridge will break 3 times that month, and the insurance company is like, fuck this, investigate, and you won't get anything for ages. So it's not like you're still on the clock. And obviously this is not my money either, but you're like, we want the fridge fixed. It's like, we're waiting on the insurance. It's like, yeah, but it fucked up 2 more times. So whatever the problem is has to be, I mean, you're insured, but they're going to investigate it, and then they're going to go, okay, well, this is an insurance job, it's fine, we'll pay out. But like if you claim your whole kitchen cool room 3 times in a month, obviously SGIO is going to go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And look into it. So like, it's not, none of it's smooth.
You know why restaurant owners just crack one day and burn the whole place down?
Yeah, a lot of arson. That's the way to end your
Jewish
your
lightning.
restaurant.
You ever heard that term? Jewish lightning?
No.
Someone burns down their own restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's an American term in American restaurant.
Probably sounds American.
Yeah, Jewish lightning.
I like it though. I'm going to use it forever.
Yeah. Just out of context as well.
I don't know why anyone's opening a restaurant at all. ever.
I had a girlfriend when I was 18.
And she was Jewish. Oh.
Who would have used exactly this term.
No.
And her friend used to burn down cars. Used to like get paid to like insurance job cars, like
a professional
bomb.
arsonist.
Yeah. Firebomb cars.
Steal it. Like with the keys.
Yeah, steal it from,
Cool.
What's he doing now?
I don't know who this guy is. I'm sure he's in jail. I'm sure he's dead. I'm sure he's...
I might have seen him at the burnout comp a couple of weeks ago.
Like, do you go up from there or do you go down?
Down.
Down.
Generally.
I reckon... Yeah.
That's why you don't start. Otherwise, we'd all do that awesome shit.
That's
But you
peak.
did never wanted to... The only thing stopping me from burning a car is it's downwards from there.
True. Yeah, totally.
That's
Is that
peak.
the only thing that's stopping you?
Only thing.
Is trajectory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is where it leads.
Do you reckon his laser Jew... Would you say? Was it laser Jew?
No.
Laser Jewish lightning.
Jewish lightning.
What was it?
I
Laser
was going to
Jew?
say, is this laser Jew father proud?
Oh, Laser Jew.
Thanks, we got the title for the episode. Laser Jews.
Laser Jew. I'm into it. Yeah. I think we need to do that too.
Yeah.
Like pick a... I don't know.
Pick one.
Just like pick something like that every
Very
episode.
Cool. I'm for it.
Rather than like
Descriptive stuff.
descriptive, like, yeah.
Don't tell them what they're going to expect and receive a payoff at the
Because
end.
I'm getting fed
Just
up
call it
with
Laser Jew.
I'm just slowly getting fed up with things that are normal things for
100%.
podcasts.
Yeah.
So I'm down.
Me too.
E.g., what are you getting fed up with?
Intros, if you haven't noticed.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Great.
Ages ago.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Titles. I don't know. Lots of shit.
Thumbnails can't be stuffed.
So
All the
this
things
is-
that they bang on about.
Thumbnails I enjoy, but I want them just to be what I want.
You want it to be like less thinking, right? I'm the same. You get to a point, you're like, yeah, laser Jews. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want
But also,
thumbnails-
this is your second time on the podcast. Yeah.
Have you
And
had
now
a
you're
repeat
in,
guest
you're in the
before?
Trap House studio.
We have. We've had like the same 3 people on 8 times.
Ah, damn it.
You've had Chase a couple of times.
I thought I might have been special.
Yeah, I
Just
got
another
this.
Laser Jew.
Well, actually, no, not even in the studio. Pero.
Perro's is, no, Perro and Chase have been here twice, right?
Chase been here.
But they haven't
yeah.
we haven't released those.
Going
Every episode.
Looping
Also-
back onto why the fuck would you start a restaurant in the first place is you got to put like heaps of cash up front.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
comedy where you just kind of have nothing and then you just
You
try
have
and
a-
build something out of
You have a Jew
dirt.
father or
Yeah.
Yeah,
link
old,
up
you need
with other
old
Jews.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching
Jew father.
someone is starting
You've
to
got
do
me started, man.
my
You
YouTube
said-
idea.
No. You can't just be like, you got me started on the Jews. That's not how it works.
And then I just drop
Right?
a laser Jew.
No one
Yeah.
in like the 30s was like, Hitler was like, you got me started on them. It's like, that was all him.
Shenanigans, shit like that, then took a turn and got kind of scary.
Yeah, laser Jew. I gotta adjust these. I like them.
Yeah.
But we got to I reckon every week do some drops.
Can you put Laser Jew on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every week should be new
That's
stuff.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, because
And
laser Jew's gold.
Keep some classics.
But then I think like, damn, we've only got 8 options. What are we gonna replace? With?
Maybe you just
Obviously,
gotta-
laser Jew's good.
And just keep them all on file somewhere. Keep them all around.
Yeah.
And
I
go
don't know.
back
We
to
can't
it.
replace nipple fat.
Maybe it stays for a long time.
I reckon
And
the
then you get
sales
sick of
rep.
it.
We're gonna read the sales rep. This one. I
Every
like it.
rep lies about everything. Any sales rep and honesty, that doesn't go into the same sentence.
I
Yeah,
like that.
What's that from?
That's these are all
audio
from.
call-in stories.
These are call-ins.
Oh, so you just trim them up and add them into the air.
Yeah, and we've got one from. I think you
Was that
you
from
might
a
be-
sales rep?
Yeah.
Was he
Yeah.
just banging on about how like corrupt and crooked it is?
Yeah, because I
Love
used to be
it.
a sales rep, and he was like agreeing, and then he went into it a little bit more.
I've always wondered that.
Yeah. Crooked ads.
The worst is when they come in when you're mid-service and they're like, "Hey, do you want to try this like new tonics?" And you're like, "Get off the pass first of
Get
all.
out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. I'll just leave my card right here."
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I like how you did the voice because that's exactly how they
that's the
sound.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
like
I was that
middle-aged
guy
white
too, but
guys.
You can flip it around. I think when I was working at Cutler and Co, we called up the Chico Roll Company, and we were like, "We want to make Chico Roll ice cream." And they're like,
Wicked.
"Cool, you send us heaps of samples." And
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Of course." And they're like, "Well, it's going to take us a long to R&D it and blah 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 blah." But when we do, like, hopefully it'll be like this Australian fucking dish or whatever. And
Yeah.
then they sit boxes of Chico rolls, and then we'll just like whip and just put them in the deep fryer for stuffies.
Yes.
over and over again, so you can
It
pull
just
them.
never worked. We just couldn't really get it to work.
Just couldn't get the Chico roll.
I mean, we'll go one more time. You want to send us one more box?
Maybe some
Or you
corn
like-
jacks.
Also, like you could say like, oh, well, we'll make something and we'll send it back to you. Is that okay? but it'll be like fucking ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe not like, yeah. Oh, good job, guys.
Who in Chico Roll is desperate for more? Like, it's not the marketing that's the problem with the Chico Roll.
You imagine being the Chico Roll sales rep
Everyone knows the Chico Roll.
that has to go to footy club and canteen. And
Yeah, but he doesn't have to convince them.
Yeah, but it's like 10 cents a roll.
Who's he convincing? They're like, dude, just give us the Chico Rolls.
Yeah, totally. But like they have people on staff who are justifying their role as a Chico Roll rep, and they know what you're saying is correct. They know exactly that your job doesn't matter. Everyone knows where to get a Chico Roll. They know if they like them or not, and all this sort of shit. But if you say, I want to make Chico Roll ice cream and this could be a thing, then they're like, oh, I've finally got something to do. Hey, boss, I've found this fucking lead. They're all about leads.
I've got a lead.
I got a lead.
Yeah.
The fucking dog lead. I used to say that all the time and no one liked it. And I always used to say it because I just thought it was funny. Dog lead.
You say that when you were working in
100%.
sales. Yeah. And everyone
100%.
else was like, get back
Everyone
to
was
work.
like, who's this cunt?
Yeah.
But I used to know all the chefs. So I was okay. Like the numbers, I guess, saved me.
Yeah. If you get a
and
good
no
rep
one
that
will
gets
wanna-
you out of the shit, they're worth gold though.
So that was what I was. It was just like, I know what a, yeah.
And
And
being-
no one wants to talk to you. And don't go during service, like you said. Yeah.
Being a chef and then being able to convince a rep that you actually ordered something in which you didn't because you forgot, and then that you tell them that it wasn't on the order and they
Yeah.
rush it out to you was a great skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, like, don't you have like a little line where you're like, oh, I forgot this, but what you're really saying is like, dude, you know, like, I need it.
Mate, I need it.
Yeah.
Oh, like, oh, didn't they order that? Which means I didn't order that. But he doesn't pull you up and be like, oh, well, look. He's just like, yep, buddy, I'll get you that stuff.
Yeah, because he's getting a commission.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
I was one of my jobs. They signed me up when I started, and it was in my contract to get a commission. And I blitzed everyone to the point I was making more money than the owner, and then they fucking hated me.
Because you're successful.
Everyone was
Fucking
obviously everyone was
Australia.
successfua. Yeah.
Taking the margins, though.
Fucking Australia.
Yeah.
Taking his stuff.
Yeah, but like this is where what did you call it before?
Jewish
Fucking-
lightning?
Laser Jews. Yeah,
Laser Jews.
Yeah,
He sounds like a laser Jew.
they were all laser Jews, but I was like the best at like manipulating the laser, I suppose.
Yes.
Like turning the laser on myself.
Sounds like it.
In the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
I actually got fired and then got like a fair work payout from that place.
You should
which
never-
I shouldn't. I 100% should not talk
Never
about in
give a
public. Yeah.
Jew an incentive to laser something.
That's
I
just
do have a
fucking
big
classic
nose.
tall poppy syndrome that's all over Australia. I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
Just tearing people down for good. Your
Oh,
boss
yeah.
should have been like, "Oh, this guy's increasing the pie in which we all take a fucking slice from."
And
How
also
about we
it's-
give him more incentive or give him more thing because he's clearly crushing it, or like maybe he could like figure out a system to teach these other cunts how to do it properly.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
man, fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Is that what you're finding? Because you're traveling a lot.
With tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, are you like, do you kind of now have a different understanding of us as Australians? Because
Yeah.
you're hitting every state.
I don't live so for context, I don't live anywhere, so I'm just completely everywhere all the time. I just
Yeah.
follow all the work. I think it's starting to get better. Australians are strange. I don't know. It's like we like the underdog
Yeah.
until the script flips, right?
Yeah.
Until Benny Cousins starts swimming in the ocean, and then you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Look at this
but then
guy.
they're like Ben Cousins, yeah. Then he had his fall, and everyone's like, yeah, fuck him. And then he became the underdog again.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah,
I
he's
love Ben
back,
Cousins.
right? He's
Yeah.
had a fucking full. It's a great story,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's just not enough. This is why Americans like so fucking sick, right? Because they have too much confidence, and they're just brought up to win.
Yep.
Which is why they have more like homeless people than like anyone else as well, because
Yeah.
like the system isn't built for them, right? Like it isn't
Yeah.
built for everyone to win.
And that's why they're so loved in the country. But when you travel and you see a bunch of US citizens, you just go the other way. You're like, oh, holy fuck. I don't want, like, they're so loud. They're so, but
Forward.
you're right. Yeah, but you're right. It's that we are the best. We're going to strive to be better. We're going to reward initiative. We're going to, essentially, right? Like all that sort of thing. To be the best.
I find
Yeah.
a lot of rich people in Australia will hide their wealth,
Yeah.
Yep.
stay somewhat humble, dress in a way.
Yeah.
They want people to tear them down, because they're being smart about it, right?
Yeah.
'Cause they've
yeah,
worked
yeah.
hard for something, and then they don't want to like the script
Unless
to
they're
flip on
around
them.
other really rich people, and then it all comes out. They start wearing cloaks and shit, killing
Cloaks,
babies.
yeah. Sacrificing lizard
Yeah,
lizard tooth.
burning owl statues, like all kinds of stuff.
Have you ever seen a lizard person?
No.
You seem like the type of bloke
That
that
would?
might have,
What, is that a movie
might
or
have
something?
thought they'd seen one once.
Like,
It's
I
like,
definitely look in some people's eyes like they blink sideways.
It's like Keanu Reeves video, like what
No.
the fuck?
Hillary
is it?
Clinton for sure.
She's not real.
Is a
I
lizard.
don't know if it's
Yeah.
lizard.
She's a lizard person.
You reckon?
Yeah.
What's the criteria? What's the giveaway?
Just like someone that would eat someone else's organs.
What are you getting out of it? What's the benefit?
I think health.
I mean, it's doing wonders for her. She looks fucking fantastic.
I don't know. I think warmth if you're a lizard, right?
Warmth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
I think there's.
I just know lizards sit out in the sun. That's
All I'm
I
saying
know.
is it's a heinous crime. You want to get something really good out of it. Like if they're like Jarryd, it's like burning the car, right? It's like, do
Exactly.
you want to burn the car? Well, what am I getting out of it? You're like
It's a
heaps of money.
slippery
You're like,
slope.
fine, I'll fucking do it, right? But if like, do you want to kill and eat this baby? If someone asks me, do you want to kill and eat this baby? I'm like, what? What
Yeah.
benefits does it have?
But
for
you're
me?
Yeah,
a human.
yeah, yeah.
They're
It's not like
a lizard
spirulina
person.
where it's like it could be good for your skin.
Right, but like maybe we're just like a chicken to them, where they're like, you like if someone said to you, "Do you want to kill this chicken?" You're like, "No, not really, but I will."
Because you want to. I mean,
you're like,
Well, how do you
doesn't
kill a
mean
chicken?
anything.
Yeah, but also, how do you kill a chicken?
Just
That's
fucking-
like when you said that, I was like, yeah, how do you kill a chicken?
Break its neck.
Yeah, I know that. I actually do. I actually do.
Yeah.
So
So they'll just.
but like, if I didn't know, that's what my interest would be.
And if you're a lizard person, you've got extra strength and sharper teeth, so less.
But you're also
hassle.
pretending to be Hillary Clinton,
yes,
which is
true.
very powerful, right?
That's very true.
So you can just go like, dead, dead.
Which she does do, 55 and counting.
she got 55 body
How
count.
has she
Yeah.
not
She
got?
killed 55 people or ordered.
There's like this. There's this whole thing about like
I don't know.
the people around the Clintons, like the close associates
Okay.
that have died in mysterious circumstances, and a
Yeah.
lot of them are like, this guy committed suicide with a shotgun to the chest
Oh, yeah.
from 40 meters away,
Classic.
like all that kind of stuff.
It's funny
This guy
stuff.
hung
you get-
himself, died, and then shot himself in the chest.
Have they not got Ghislaine yet? Have the
She's
Clintons?
somewhere, isn't she?
Yeah, but have they not got her?
To kill her?
Yeah,
I think she's on their team.
you reckon?
Yeah.
That's spicy.
Which I mean, she hasn't said shit, but neither had
Epstein?
That's one.
He could be out there somewhere
Jesus.
on a gurney. Like they
He-
might have.
He
There's
could be a gecko.
on a
That's
gurney,
how he got
there's
out.
like a high pressure
They
hose.
might have pushed him out on a gurney alive. Yeah, they might have faked his death.
So you can just get away with it.
Well, he's in that upper echelon
As an
Of-
artist, right? You're an artist. Is that when you know you've made it?
when
So
you
like
get
one day
gurneyed
they-
out of somewhere.
Well, just one day they're like, you got to go to this island. You're like, sweet, okay, cool. Everything's been going well for about 8 years. This is fantastic. And
So,
they're like,
alright.
fuck this kid. You're like, what? Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Think about it though, bro. Think about how hard you've been working, right? And you've
Don't get me wrong. I like a night off. Like
You've
the
got
most of
two
us.
steps forward, and then you're like, "Yeah, I am working really hard." And
So
someone
retarded.
gives you a free ticket, and like, "Dude, you've been working really hard, and you're really successful. Come do this awesome party." And you're like, "Yeah, I have been working really hard."
Do you know what? I deserve this.
And then it's just down, 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 down.
I saw this set on Kill Tony a couple of weeks ago. That was like one of those first time comedians, and their set was like they had a bit about Epstein's Island, but they were like Make a Wish. It's like, imagine if you were a Make a Wish kid and you went to the Epstein's Island. You're, holy shit, that's Brad Pitt. And you're like, holy shit, that's fucking Kevin Spacey. And all this sort of shit. Like, actually, they were like, they had no bit after that. They were just, it was a terrible
funny.
joke, but like the premise was hilarious.
That's good.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like it fucking failed in the end. But I just thought it was so funny
wish
because
was
you're like,
only-
you got there, and you got there on a helicopter on a private jet, and you're like, holy shit, this is like the best of the best. And then it goes, oh,
Yeah.
hang on,
You're like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Like a tagline might be like, "Oh, I was only supposed to meet Brad Pitt."
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, well, I was like, no, I'm a boy who liked Brad Pitt, and then I saw Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey or something like that.
I
And you're
want
like,
Kevin
oh
Spacey
shit.
to throw me a baseball.
I wrote a bit that just bombed hard and I abandoned it. But it's like, so the guy that killed John Lennon loved him, was his fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So he's like, I fucking love you, boom. And I'm like, that's fame.
Yeah,
You know, there must have been a small part of like John Lennon lying there in a pool of blood on his doorstep, being like, oh,
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
it's nice to be loved.
Just one last signature.
yeah. Just go. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate love or the ultimate fan. Yeah.
Couldn't get regular people on board with it though. They're like, he's a tragedy,
Yeah.
and he was a
And then
beautiful
also
man.
some of those bits you have to explain to them who all the people are.
Yeah.
John Lennon, and
Too
this guy
much.
loved John Lennon, and then this
Yeah.
happened, and then here's my joke. It is just too much.
Yeah. Like if you said, like, I know the guy's name is Mark Chapman, but like, who the fuck knows that?
Is
Do you know
that the
what I
guy
mean?
who shot John
That's the
Lennon's
guy's name, yeah.
How do you know that?
I just know it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they were suppressing that forever, his actual name, because he was like trying to. Well, the idea was he was trying to get famous, but
I know
not
about
really.
MK Ultra.
That's the thing.
He was trying to get super famous.
Well, that was the. I think that was
As an
the
artist?
original. No. I think when he killed Lennon, I think that was the old the. I guess that was what the news was saying at the time. So I think they were suppressing his name. So that's why not a lot of people know the guy's name.
Because
like
they
everyone
were
knows
like, let's
Martin
not make
Bryant
him-
and things like this.
They were like, let's not make him famous.
Yeah.
Ah.
Still, imagine going to all that work.
I know.
No one knows who you are.
But obviously,
Yeah.
like, it turned out that he actually didn't give a fuck. He was just like, I love you.
He's in it for the game.
And was he?
I love you,
was he?
pal.
I love you. Like,
Pew,
did you research this at all, or you were just
Minimal.
Like,
So I know.
I saw a quote on Instagram.
So what is generally known is that Marky Chapman, my mate, he he said you made the Beatles and I'm going to end the Beatles, something like that.
He said that like he had a line before he killed him.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I wonder
But
how long he thought about
that's
that
what they
line.
reported. That's what reported was said. Or I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like, "You are the Beatles. I'm going to end the Beatles."
What a fuck.
And then he was an actual massive Lennon, like John Lennon fan. Yeah,
and psychotic.
Not all there by the sounds of
Schizophrenic?
it.
I think he was pretty much put together pretty good.
He gave old John Lennon the Jewish lightning, didn't he?
Dude, he could load a
Perfect.
gun and fire a gun. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
but there's less like serial killers and stuff. Have you heard about all of that?
I think I see more and more.
Is there more now?
Every second Netflix show is a serial killer.
But the 70s
But
was
they're
the hype.
from the 70s and the 80s and stuff.
Yeah, it's fascinating because I think you can't find them, right? Like, they would be able to follow us all the way to this house on CCTV.
But
There's a minimum of like at least 3 tracking devices in this room.
Yeah.
Minimum. I don't know how much.
7 things recording.
Exactly.
I'm on
right.
TikTok all the time. China knows where I am right now.
So,
Yeah, so fuck you guys.
and there's more mystery. People get caught now, so things happen and they get caught. So the story's not big. These things didn't get solved for a while, so
Yeah.
their story lives on for a long time.
Right.
Because it creates movies, it creates fucking.
So you
like
can't
10 years
creates
later,
things.
You
someone
can't
says
serial
something.
kill because they catch you at the first one.
Correct.
Yeah.
They catch you straight away.
Whereas Bundy was like, what, 30 deep or something across states and like old
Yeah.
school. They had to like, is it true they had to, I feel like you're a killer enthusiast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They had to make the FBI because of him? Or
Yeah,
they had to get
because
states to talk to
there
each
was
other?
because they needed a federal body because every state was different. So like Louisiana was like fuck Texas, and Texas was like we're the best, and California was like
He's like, I'm going to drive
Yeah.
5 hours and start again. Yeah.
but they wouldn't talk to each other. So if you had a badge from wherever, it
Yeah.
wouldn't mean shit. So cross state line, didn't mean shit.
Really?
Come get me, and also you can't find them then because there's no. I mean, there was minimal tracking then. So, like, if you had a car with a Minnesota number plate on it, and you went to Canada, just change the number plate, and you. But also, you could just change state. You could just change states and say, "I'm John West now."
Done.
Yeah, and that was it. This is my name. So I lost my fucking license. It was a piece of paper anyway.
And that's
Yeah.
the stuff that makes good stories, makes good
Yeah.
Netflix stories, right?
Yeah.
They put all those pieces together and then people are hooked and they're like, how did this happen? And
Yeah.
then they're really in it for the story, right? But now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, and it was the husband. Like, it's over, right?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
the
They
argument.
could have said that
Everything's
at
a
the
real.
start. Yeah.
Murders are reals now. you know? It's
yeah.
like 8-part fucking Netflix. It's
Yeah, but he
just-
could have done that in 15 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the husband.
That
Everyone
means
knew
there's
that.
like no conspiracy theory though. If like not that long ago, all the states didn't even talk to each other, so they were like, "Oh, do you know what's a good idea? Let's like get everyone to talk to each other." That's when a conspiracy theorist comes in and goes, "Oh, they're planning it against us." So it's like, no, it was chaos, bro. It was complete chaos.
Yeah.
It was less chaos and more just like everyone goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just more like,
Like
Yeah.
fuck, man, they're not talking to each other like two states, so you can
Yeah, I think it was
You
like,
can
it's
just-
not my problem sort of attitude as
you
well.
pick up your whole life and go to another state, change your name sounds easily,
Yeah.
start again.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no accountability in your life.
I don't think, but what replaced the serial killer, right? Controversial take right now. So what replaced the single person whacking people over multiple decades was the single person whacking a lot of people in one hit,
Heaps
like
of shit.
shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there needs to be like, there's probably the same amount of death going on, but like,
Yeah, but they're not trying to get away with it either.
no.
That's the difference. Yeah,
It's
as
all
well.
Blaze of Glory stuff.
Yeah. And the Columbine shootings and stuff like that, all those.
Yeah, but
They're just like, I'm just in it forever.
They're
Yeah,
saying that
strange.
that's those prescription drugs, though.
What's
Who
this?
says
What's
Mainly me.
who says
possibly.
it? And what drugs are they? Have you done any research into this?
Yeah, you know, like, so school shootings.
Both of us were just like, excuse me, what?
School
lizard
shootings,
people.
man, from the drug epidemic and pharmaceuticals coming in and,
Like
depressant
ADD.
drugs. Yeah, depressant drugs? What are those ones called?
Like Ritalin and stuff.
Downers.
Oh,
Yeah.
antidepressants.
You're talking about like
Antidepressants.
kids? Yeah, antidepressants, yeah.
And they're pumping all that into US kids. And that's what's causing a lot more mass shooting.
I don't know. I think it's, I guess.
Because they were trying to blame guns. And they're like, no, well, actually, there's less guns now or something than there used to be. But there's more shootings.
Yeah, but there's still 300,000 guns.
Yes.
300 million guns.
More. I think everyone has, on average, 2.5 guns.
Yeah.
But if we had if we went to school, we grew up with no guns, right? We grew up in a gunless culture.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
if we had guns and you could bring them to school, there was that one kid you went to school with that would have shot someone.
Yeah. So I went to primary school in Chicago and there was guns.
Really?
There was guns in the locker. They would show me.
Did
They
you
would
have a metal
show-
detector?
They would no. So even the metal detectors were like under shoulder height. So people would put them inside their hats.
Hang on. What?
Yeah.
So they had a height limit to it.
It was just like a.
Like one of those things you walk out of Big W
Yeah,
to make
exactly.
sure
Yeah,
you
exactly.
You just
Exactly.
yawn as you go, oh.
So they put them under their hats, and
walk
then they
through
would
like
go.
a marine.
Yeah, so the gangs would go into cinemas and watch a movie and just shoot up and it would be dark and there would be no, whatever. There would be no police. So they would just put them under their hats and then, the NWA sort of thing, that they would have their rising hats anyway.
Yeah.
So you just put anything up there.
Oh, so it's a
They
holster.
put handguns. Yeah.
The old holster hat.
Imagine there
But
was
they
a
were-
holster for the head. And it
There
was
was-
like strapped under here.
I know.
Just
Yeah,
put
but
it in.
also, don't stop me because it didn't go off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I bought a ticket to this movie.
Yeah.
But they were bringing the guns in to protect themselves walking home and to and from. So they would put them in the locker. But obviously that breeds there are guns at school. How do you bring a gun to school? So eventually someone's going to fucking shoot up a school, right? That's what I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like
They're letting guns
yes.
in schools. I know teachers knew they were there. They were just like, well, if we take the gun, there's that dilemma, like we take the gun away from you, are you going to be safe walking home as a 8-year-old?
What a crazy situation.
I know. Yeah.
That's nuts.
But I thought I actually thought it was kind of cool. I'd never seen a gun like that, like a gun. I'd seen like
What do you mean by gun?
like an
What's a
actual
gun?
revolver that would shoot and had bullets in it.
Yeah.
Like I'd seen a gun here, but it was like at my cousin's farm, and it was like a what do you
Bolt
call
action.
it? Bolt action, just one shot, and it would kill a cow if it was injured or a horse if it was injured.
You're like,
It
I've
was like
seen a
super
pistol.
super boring gun, but like a
That's so boring.
boring
Just kills
gun.
cows.
Yeah, this won't kill 6 kids
You
gun.
can,
Yeah.
you can see why Ted Bundy didn't go up to Chicago on his pilgrimage. He went down, didn't he? California to Texas.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah,
Texas
he had a
is
big
not
time
great
in
place to go.
Florida. He had
Yeah.
a hell of a night in Florida. I think he killed 4 people in a night.
Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
all the guns there?
I think he was just doing it by hand, wasn't he? Was he?
Yeah, but
purist?
where's the gun protection from other people?
What do you mean?
Why didn't they have guns? It sounds like everyone's got guns.
Well, not everyone will carry a gun. Only kids carry guns, right? Like, yeah,
Apparently.
Yeah.
He used
So
to attack
okay,
women as well.
I can tell you the first time I knew kids
Get a
had
gun if I was a
I can
woman.
tell you the first time I knew a kid had a gun at my school. We were walking home. I was walking home with my 2. I was going to say parents. My parents weren't there. I was walking home from school. This sounds like we used to walk home barefoot in the snow, but it's basically what it was in Chicago. And darker kids, black kids. I'm not. Aussie accent, white as fuck. The police rolled up and they're like, "Are you okay?" Asking me if I'm okay
Because there was dark
because there
people
was
around.
two black kids with me.
Were you okay?
I was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought, aren't they nice? And these other kids were shitting themselves, like frozen, like what is about to happen. They eventually moved off, and I was like, they're nice, like that's what police do. They make sure you're okay all the time, right? Yeah. And they were like, we have guns. And I was like, what? And then they showed me the guns, and we walked through the park and stuff like that. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, cool. But
Did you get to shoot the gun?
huh?
Did you get to shoot the?
Yeah, we
dark-skinned
used to
kid's
shoot
gun?
the guns behind the school at like and break bottles. Not just shoot, but like just smash stuff
Yeah.
against the school.
It's fun.
Yeah, but it's also like it was winter in Chicago, which was just miserable. So if you can go outside, no one's going to come out after you. It's like just be an absolute jerk, throw things, and then the bell will ring and you go back inside. Like the teachers aren't going to stand out in the cold and watch you because no one else is there playing basketball. They're all inside and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a life. Are you going to go to America?
I'd love to go to America, yeah. I'm saving at the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to put together enough money to go there for a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to try and make it in the big smoke.
Do the club scene.
I have to get a visa.
I'm building, I would think about 3 years from now, 4 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm trying to build my online sort of presence. There's already an established tour in America for Army veterans, of which I am. So if I can create a decent online following, and then I can approach them and be like, I'm this version of you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
I was just
We're
thinking
allies. We've
done it together, boys.
We've walked into every
Let's
dog
do it
shit
again.
war you've had. Like, come on, give me a spot.
there's way more veterans over there too. Like they're fucking everywhere.
Well, there's 1 million people in their military, and there's I looked at the figures the other day. There's 28 million people that identify as a veteran over the population of Australia.
None of
So
them
there's
get
whole
benefits.
places you can actually just tour.
Yeah.
And you can go to all the bases, which are in every state. So that one's already in place. So my goal is to try and get on that, and then whilst I'm there, do the clubs.
Yes.
So get on for something that's like a good working thing, and then branch out. So that's the main goal, and see if I can make it in the craziest country in the world, right?
It's the best place to do it, though.
Why
I
not?
reckon.
You only live once, right?
For veterans, yeah. But you used to be a cook in the
Nah, it wasn't a cook in the army. So I was just infantry, so exploding
Yeah.
things, guns, blowing
Bombs,
things up.
mortars.
Mortars, rocket launchers.
yeah, sweet.
I shot lots of guns.
Be chefed after that, right?
Then I got out and be a chef because I'm a fucking
Yeah.
moron.
Do you want to hear some chef stories?
Absolutely.
You want some
All
trauma?
right, boys, I've got a tale for you.
Chef hotline. Tell us a story.
Probably one of the worst shifts I'd ever had.
Dude, that is fucking hilarious.
Blowjob and by the trash can.
On speakpipe.com/no crying in the cool room.
Didn't even think people wanted to be anonymous, but that makes a lot of sense.
The chef hotline, that's what we're calling it. Yeah, so this is the chef hotline. people fucking know.
There's a red hot intro.
That goes on for way longer than I thought every time we hear it. Yeah. People call in speakpipe.com/no crying in the cool room. We got a couple here, and we got a regular here, but we're not going to do interviews yet.
Have you, are you just like going raw dog into these, or have you
Yeah.
listened to them before?
We haven't listened to any of these.
So it could just be crook as fuck.
It has been.
Yeah,
They have been.
Love it.
and we still haven't adjusted anything we're doing.
I do this on my.
If anything, we've made an intro with them. Yeah.
I do this on my video channel, and I do this for the army stories, and it's a fucking nightmare because it's like I'm like, send us in your funny stuff. I had this guy from like the Ukraine been like, yeah, so anyway, this like lake blew off and hit me in the head, and I'm like, I can't put this on the
Fucking Russia.
internet,
Wow.
bro. So I need to make some secret channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I'm excited.
Patreon it. Just do the censored.
Fellas, this is Ben in Chicago. You had
Yes.
asked about worst
Regular.
day in restaurant service. So I worked at this place in Houston, Texas. It was a Creole place. And we had this prep guy. And I'm not going to name him because he had like legitimate mental health issues, right? Like what we would say today, mental health issues. We were not that kind back in those days. This was early 2000s. He was a prep guy, and we were a Creole restaurant, like I said. So we had probably 8 different sizes of shrimp on the menu, right? We had like 2125s, we had 3140s, depending on what we were using them for. We had
All right.
U15s, right? We had some that were appetizers, some that went into soups and whatever. This dude came in, spent an entire shift peeling and deveining all of the shrimp. Great. He mixed them all together into one big bucket.
Yeah, dog.
Now, this guy, this prep guy, was also the son of the best friend of the executive chef. So we couldn't touch him. So all of the rest of us, after this guy's shift was up,
Pick him through.
during service, had to go through this giant bin of peeled and deveined shrimp and sort them all by size.
Yeah.
That's like trying to find a shrimp in a haystack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shrimp and Barbie.
I was wondering where I was going halfway through. He was mentioning all the sizes, and I'm like, oh, we're in a section of the LaRousse here.
I actually kind of got bored.
No,
I was like,
Ben's
yeah.
a legend.
How lovely is that accent, though?
He's come through. Ben in
Hey guys,
Chicago.
as would call it, mental health issue. What did you call it back then?
Yeah. Well, from a
That's what I wanna know.
guy that's had some problems with calling people retards. What do you think about that?
Look, let's just get this clear. I didn't have a problem with it. Neither did the retard.
I don't have a problem with retards.
It was the lady at the back of the room that had a problem with it.
On behalf of the said man.
I mean, I'm wondering what he's trying to allude to there. Is he on drugs? Is that what he's getting at? Or is he dumb?
No, he's dumb.
Or is he depressed?
No, he's just a dumb. He's just this dumb young cunt.
Slow, as we would call them.
Did the wrong thing under instruction, but he just had to be. Yeah, he was just mates with the exec chef or something, right?
Yeah,
was it the son of the exec chef's mate,
best mate? So he got his mate a job.
Also, fuck doing a whole shift peeling prawns.
Yeah.
Pretty tough, eh? That's a tough shift right there.
Yeah, but also you learn, the only way to learn how to do that properly other than listen the first time is now go, oh, you know what you got to do is pick that whole bucket through.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a very,
and you never do that. Yeah, but I know, but then you never do that again though, right?
A normal person, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we've all met retards.
Because we were talking about like worst shifts. I think with Pero we talked about it as well. Worst shifts. We talked with you about it?
Yeah, we did.
You had a...
I can't remember what I said, but I think I've remembered more. Oh, by the way, have you guys seen The Bear?
Yeah.
Thoughts on it?
I got up to the halfway through the second episode, and then I thought I'm gonna binge this.
I thought
at the time I was like sweating.
I thought I was okay with my kitchen experience, and I thought I'd put it all behind me. And I have more PTSD from the kitchen than I did in the military. You know what I mean? Like I watched Full Metal Jacket and it's fine. I watched 2 episodes of The Bear and I was back in Nam. I was like, Gah.
I got 3 episodes.
It's weird, hey? However they've shot that, whoever they've got involved to get that shot to is perfect.
The guy,
like if anyone that's not been a chef who wants to watch it, you're like
the handyman.
The
guy,
anxiety.
Right? He's the creator, right? The big fella.
Yeah, he's definitely involved, and he's the YouTube fella. He does all the food stuff. Whatever his name, Maddie Matheson.
Don't know.
But I don't think he might have a part in actually making it. But it's the other guy.
There was one episode where it was just the docket machine. Well, they had essentially their version of Uber Eats, and then they turned it on, and then it just shot out like 48 dockets in a row and counting. And that episode went for like 22 minutes, and I just got back from a gig, and I don't often watch anything after a gig. I try and wind down, but I was like, there'd been a few nice episodes in a row, and I was like, oh, this is nice. The food's cool, and I'm feeling a little bit inspired. I might just wind down after work with this 22-minute episode. And it was just one shot camera of like a kitchen going down, and it was intense. Man. I was sweating, and it was like, fuck.
I know. It's like I can have anxiety about stuff, but that triggers a specific chef kitchen anxiety that I just can't live with.
Do you know what I
have in my life?
I can't live with it.
I've watched, like I said, I've got halfway through. I definitely got halfway through the second episode, and then when I have to watch this another time, and maybe I'd never watch it again. I don't know. But it was like the way they were putting the plates up on the part, it was the same thing. Whatever was happening was the same. I can't even remember, but I was just like, I have to stop this. I'm not in that zone. Yeah. Like, but the way they're putting the plates up, you know those plates up. That's the other thing about what diners don't realise is they're putting those plates up. They're actually dumping them on the pass, but you know they're perfect. Like that's a perfect meal. And what your experience is, this meal has just come at you. But what they're going through is exactly what's going on in that kitchen. And you're like the juxtaposition is like fucking insane. Like, like you can even hear the music in the fucking dining room or whatever they've got going on. But in the back of house is clink clank, fuck you. What are you? Stop. What are you doing? Stop doing that. I fucking told you to do this. Like blah, blah, blah. And they're still like, there's another plate. Well, while you're doing all of that, that's what got me because I was like, I can't watch this at the moment.
I think there's a lot of chefs that have felt the same though.
Yeah,
I think
everyone says it about the bear. Yeah,
but it's too much.
Yeah,
but it's acclaimed and people will love it. I think
it's beautifully shot. I mean, from a filmmaking, from a production point of view, it's incrable. And
does anyone know the end result? He ends up back in fine dining or something. Hey?
I think he kills himself.
Last season's just out. No, last season's just out.
Because we know what it should be if they're going to really follow the story.
Like he gets in heaps of debt and then just like
burns the place down.
Starts a podcast in Perth.
Yeah, have a mental breakdown. Burn the restaurant.
You need those. I've had heaps of hard like dog shit sort of going down days. I mean, they're fucking dime a dozen, right? I'd like a girl I was dating, like, leave me. And she was like messaging me being like, I'm out of here. I'm out of this. and like she was staying with me at the time, and I was like, I had to be something had happened that day, and like heaps of people had got sick or whatever. I just had to be at work for like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I just had to do the whole shift whilst like corresponding of being like, just take your stuff, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I remember that being a really shit day.
Yeah.
It wasn't overly busy. It wasn't anything like that. But I'm like, life doesn't stop for like chefs like it does for other people.
Dude, I've got one for you that I just remembered.
Here you go.
That just sparked that in the back
The
of your brain.
morning that I was going to work for a fucking 15-hour shift, Eugenia, my ex-partner in Argentina, rang me up and told me she was pregnant and keeping the baby.
Yeah.
On the train on the way to work, and I just had this ringing in my ears for 15 hours. It was just like that.
Yeah.
And people are talking at me and I'm getting things done, but all I'm like is just fucking space cadet.
Yeah.
But I was doing fine dining.
It's just muscle memory. Yeah.
But I couldn't think at all. I was just fucking,
Yeah.
it was just crazy.
And it's funny too, because like no one will be like, what's wrong with Tim? Or they might, but they're not going to stop you, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to stop you working perfectly. They're just going to be like,
no, they can't. That's
No.
the thing, because everyone's like, are you okay? And you're like, yeah.
should we sub in the other guy that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Exactly. But no one's like,
Yeah.
go home. They're like, we can't.
No, Perez said it best last week. We were talking about drugs in kitchens, and he's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to like, he's just going to say, hey, mate, you know, you're going to have to go home and I'm going to do your shift and my shift?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's just working on math. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's just see how long it lasts.
That's so funny.
We might get an hour out of you for any of the prep before you leave, or
Maybe Tim's walking around like a space cadet, but that's better than not having anyone. At all. So
that's great. Yeah.
It's funny, eh?
Because you just you're perfectly designed to be understaffed. That is the fucking base, or whatever that is. You're understaffed because of the margins are so tiny.
I was trying to explain it to someone recently but when it's not that hectic, it's really fucking underwhelming and boring.
Yeah. You wish someone would fuck off.
So you're like, if you have a smooth night and it's not that busy and everything just goes to plan and you like sort of pack up or whatever, you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
But if you just balls to the wall and like the place is burning around you and you're just kind of like surfing that wave of like, it's all going to crash down.
Yeah.
That's actually what
That's
it's all
the good
about.
stuff. Well, that's where all the addicts are.
It's
right?
the
In those
adrenaline.
places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I always used to say that you're just chasing that perfect service that never really happens. I reckon I've said it heaps of times in the past. I reckon I've probably had like 2, 3, 4 maybe perfect services over 15 years. You're like, what the how does that not
of the highest
compute
degree.
in my head? Yeah, and you're like, and then that's a high. You're like, oh, and we all hate each other by the end of it, but we all love each other because you're like, and the pack down's perfect, and you go home and you're like, and the next day is horrible.
I know
And you're
exactly what you're
back
talking
to-
about. Yeah.
But everything just fell into place for no reason at all. Like nothing you did that was different the day before or since. But
Do you think that the reason a lot of chefs might abuse substances is because they have that precondition of sort of an addictive personality, which they're chasing within the kitchen? So then as soon as drugs or alcohol come along, it just goes and runs with it.
Yeah, and it's also designed for being a perfectionist too, because like you'll see the ones, I was like that too, where I needed everything exactly where it was. My spoons where they fucking needed to be. If someone touched them, fuck you.
Yep.
There'd be an argument about
all the handles going.
There'd
one
be an
way.
argument about everything.
like
You
pots and
touch. I had
pans.
3 spoons.
Definitely,
Now I've got
everything.
2. Everything. It's just everything was fucking. You touched my tea towel, but then I touched yours. I'm very sorry. You know, like it was all that, and then I think So it's all of like, and then if everything goes perfect, you're like fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But it's such a stressful. I didn't even think I was just like, I don't think I even suffer from stress or anxiety. And then you realise later, you were fucking like wired up all day.
Yeah, I'm going through some of that recently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break down a habit. I'm trying to break down the drinking habit at the moment, where it's like just hearing about service. You'd have a perfect service and the only thing you could do is go and drink. That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to sit at your house and jazz around for fucking 5 hours.
You're
and
by
not
yourself
sleep.
in the dark and no one else is going to
So it's
understand
either
why you're
drinking with
still
everyone
awake.
or drinking by yourself and calming down.
Yeah.
And now when I have like a really good day, I feel like, I should have a drink.
Yeah.
And that's like still
you
a-
attribute that to
that's
kitchen
still a habit.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
celebration.
It's just like, it's just built into me.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a really good day and things are going well. I'm on target with all my projects, feeling really good. It's 5 p.m. I'm like, I'll drink a beer.
Yeah.
But actually, I could not drink a beer and keep going.
Yeah.
And keep having a good day.
That's so funny.
But I do drink a beer.
Yeah, I just realised I did that too.
I had alcohol.
I just get buzzed on the couch by myself. Not like buzzed as in like drink tons of beer or anything
it's
like
like
that.
an award system that I have. And
But I
think
just have
it's
this
from,
rush
I think
of
it's
like,
from
fuck
services.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, and never go to sleep.
I think we mentioned
Yeah,
this.
just keep drinking. It's fucking crazy.
I think we mentioned this off air, but so I've just given up drinking, and look, no one ever diagnosed me, but I had a fucking drinking problem as a chef. Like, I think I got pissed 6 nights a week. And proper.
Me too, yeah.
To the point where I went on breakfast for a while where I worked because, like, the people were we all got along very well, but I was like, I think I need to dry out a bit, like, put me on brekkie. And it went worse because I just had more time to drink.
Yeah, there was no one around, you could go get it
I
as
had
well.
a pub
right?
at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
which is a really good time to go to the pub. 'Cause
Totally.
everyone else is there.
It's happy hour.
And
It's crazy, yeah.
it's only taking me years to get out of it, and to the point where like I had to like wean off, but then make the decision to sort of like break that cycle, because I had a similar thing, like a reward thing when I would go to a festival or like a comedy related thing. I would feel like service, so do the thing, do the hard thing, get the rush afterwards, laugh, enjoy, talk shop.
Yeah.
With beers, right? Smoke ciggies, like, yum, yum, yum.
Yeah,
Find a smoking
yeah.
area. Find a smoking area from somewhere, right? And it's been a game changer, but I think a lot of chefs struggle with that.
So what do you fill it with? How do you get off, and then what do you fill that thing with?
It's going to sound super gay, but like, because it's been really difficult. But I've had
fill
to
it with being comfy.
No, yeah, you've got to fill it with you. And you got to fill it with like you can't just stop something. You got to address it. Like I've had to do a lot of work on it. I've had to like write and like figure out and like talk to people. I want to be a better person.
You got to say it. You got to fucking say this shit out loud.
You got to.
No one fucking wants to do it.
Right?
Like, fortunately, me and Tim just say things out loud to each once a week, and this sort of shit comes up. But I never did either. I would just go. I had the same thing, like a bottle or two of spirits a day for like maybe 18 months.
I can feel that fucking hangover.
Yeah, but it's like that's what I used to do, and it was the same thing when I was chefing, and then I got out of it. But it was like, I didn't need to talk about that. Like, why the fuck I was doing that, right? You just got to say it out loud.
Which is another chef aspect of like, I I'll just do it. I don't need to talk about it.
I
I'll
was
just
such
do it.
a high functioning. I didn't think I was an alcoholic either. High functioning, like fuck, like everything, costing, running teams, getting there on never late. You know what I mean? Like,
The problem I had with drinking was I was an amazing drunk.
Yeah, me
like
too.
I was just a good guy, fun.
Yeah,
listen, good chats. You know, be like and like say how I feel to like my friends and stuff, and just be like, oh, cool, man. Like you should. That's really cool. I'm really excited for you and stuff. Like I was a good drunk, right? Except it stung the edge of my eyeballs like day in day out.
Yeah.
And you just got to like. It's this amazing line from Ozzy Osbourne after he went sober ages ago and has been sober for a while. But he said that when he was on drugs and alcohol, he never used to sleep. He used to just come to in the morning.
Yeah.
And I felt since I've given up, something happened like 3 or 4 months in, and I just woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, I'm rested. It was like my body just caught up on sleeping.
Yeah, right.
And I just woke up one day and I went, oh my God, I feel good.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go back. I've got a 12-month commitment.
Yeah.
But I'm in no rush. I'm 6 months in, so.
I started doing like these push-ups for no reason at all once. And that helped me. It was something I was doing. I was able to do push-ups. Like it was like
exchanging for the like.
It must have been because I didn't associate it with that, but it definitely that's what it was. And then I would be, I guess just tired maybe, I don't know, but I just liked doing it. And then I was like, fuck, I can get like 50 done today. I can get like, and then you get like, dude, I'll go up to like 250 a day, and then, but that's that obsessive. You don't need to do 200 push-ups a day. And you don't need to drink this much. Like it was, but it became like it was the same obsession, I suppose. Not obsession, but maybe
it is. It's an obsession.
You're still pushing yourself. I want to do one more, 10 more. And then, but that definitely replaced it. So it wasn't. I didn't think that was like solving anything, because like you stop doing push-ups, then you go, okay, let's go to the pub, or I'll
Yeah, it was like I think
So that's where I got with it. I was
feel
like,
like-
I'm sober, but I'm not really. I'm just replacing.
Yeah, dude.
In my head, I was just replacing whatever I was doing with this next thing, and I was loving this next thing.
It's the real thing in that is to find the triggers. So, so going through this process, I'm trying to fix my entire life, right? Because I've got a really good life. I've got really good things are happening in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I keep fucking operating at this level and I don't work on like trying to switch off, I'm going to get to 52 and just fucking die.
Yeah. yeah
Right?
exactly.
It's going to be a great life and I'm going to have fun and I've met a lot of amazing people, but I'm not going to be old. I'm just going to fall over, right?
So what's the switch off?
You got to figure out what your trigger is, right? So you got to go back and go, what is the thing that makes me want to like strive? And I find a lot of chefs this way. I've gone from military chef now comedy, and I've gone fucking quick at like hard. You can probably attest to this. I go hard, right? And then trying to figure out why. What am I looking for? Like, why can you not be content? And a lot of those things go down to, and drinking and all that sort of stuff is like the antidote to just striving towards something. And then if you're in a kitchen and you're like, I need to be the best at this because X, Y, and Z when I was 8, then the booze is kind of like the anti to that. You're like, I need to switch the fuck off because I can't, right?
It is a switch off tool, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out how to switch off.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time that comes with figuring out what switches you want.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Have you got any vices now, though? You smoking?
The smoking's the last one. So I only smoke after gigs. I use it like sex.
You do go hard with everything. Like your content is hard. Like
I do a lot of it.
Yeah, but it's good. And
I
you can
like
see
it.
you've worked at it.
Yeah, I do it
As
all
in
myself.
Like I know, of course, right? And all my content is myself too. So it's like I know how hard that fucking is. So when I see it, I was like, you're like balls to the wall with all this shit you do. Like I can see it. Like I didn't say it, but I'm like, dude, you fucking and you nail shit so good, and you've like So it's like I know even that. So you've ignored the content bit, but that's just as. You've looked into that and gone, oh, fucking, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Well, I went
Fix
from
that.
computer illiterate to figuring out how to do it in like multiple years because I'm obsessed with learning. I probably read like a book a week and just...
Yeah, I'm obsessed with everything.
Just go on and on and on about it. And
especially if someone tells me I can't do something.
But now I'm trying to actively, I'm approaching 40 in a couple of years, and I'm trying to, like, sooner or later, you got to be like, no one fucking cares, bro.
Yeah.
Like, except for you.
Yeah, you're the only one.
About
everything.
Fucking anything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, I think I try and, therapist gave me this little activity, actually. She's like, let's talk about Jarryd when he's 80. Like, what does he care about, right? And, like, you never, like, talk to old people and they're like, oh, I wish I could watch more TV shows. And, like, a lot of people have the opposite problem where they don't do anything. They just kind of, like, go to work, go home, and they don't achieve anything, right?
Yeah.
And then they hit a midlife crisis and they need to explode. So they go do something crazy where, like, we've got the opposite, whereas we do crazy lives. But the normal mundane life, I assume, gives us depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't work in an office. I would be very upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried to not do the
had
balls to the wall.
But don't you realise that we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I realised for the first time that I am now chefing with comedy. Like, I went out of chefing and I still did a late night job. Still did a job where there was alcohol. I still did a job where you weren't getting paid as much as your effort that you put in. Like, I just completely transferred all that to that, which was, like, probably unhealthy.
I should go talk to someone, hey. You should go talk to a brain expert. Oh, it's so good. I've done a lot of it. Lately, I've done a lot of it in my life. This is the first time I've done it proactively instead of reactively. So in the past, I would have been like, I'm not feeling good. I need to go sort this shit out. And, like, now I've actively been like, let's just clear some junk out. Because I think chefing as well, you do
a brain expert.
Dude, go see someone who's got a degree in the brain. Psychiatrist, psychologist.
Yeah.
Get some. Don't get on fucking drugs at like some pharmaceutical fucking huge company. Actually, I'm not a doctor. I shouldn't say that. But like, sort your problems out, right? Like I'm doing that at the moment, and I'm like, I'm not a fucking perfect dude, right? And I've done heaps of crazy shit in pursuit of trying to be like what I wanted to thought and blah, 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 blah. Burned heaps of bridges along the way and fucking trashed sort of my life and relationships along the way. And that's okay, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with
Just
that.
don't run from shit. Just figure it out.
In my opinion, if you've trashed relationships, they probably wouldn't have lasted anyway. That's my opinion.
I made
I
some
didn't know
mistakes.
you at all. You know what I mean? Like, but in my opinion, like, yeah,
I
I
made
wouldn't
some
trash her when I
mistakes.
was in for anything.
But the reason you get into the first place is because the other person is looking for a fucking train wreck, right? Like, you know, when you're chefing,
Yeah,
I don't know
totally.
about you if you were a
100%,
fucking waitress
100%.
fucker or not, but like,
Yes.
me too, right? I was the man, right? And but it's just like when you're in that sort of lifestyle as well, where you just sex is very similar to alcohol in that way, where you're like, I can go out boozing tonight, or I can go get a root. They're the same. Guess what? They're the same thing to the brain, right? They're like, I want some instant gratification for the hard work that I've done and the thing that I've sacrificed.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to figure that out, so because those things control you otherwise.
Yeah.
We used to have,
And if you can learn not to, then you can just do other stuff with your time.
yeah, we
Fuck yes.
yeah,
I haven't learnt
100%.
it yet, but I'm on board.
Get it. Go talk to it.
100%. We had this sous chef when I was an apprentice who would just come in completely blasted. Like you'd see him go out and you'd see him come in, and he was like 3 hours early for his shift. He was completely fucked. Like on every, I don't know what pill, didn't matter. And you just put him, he would just lie down at the back and you just sort of push him and like, you know, you'd make him, he was okay, but it was like, I don't know, there was that vibe about it. There was like, yeah, but he's here. And when he wakes up, he's fucking epic. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a very good sous chef, and he looks after you. He actually was like the only one that really kind of looked after the team and shit at the time. And then, but you would see him. You would honestly like you would do those. I've mentioned it before. I was doing those overnight shifts once a week with the baker, so we were doing night baking, and you would see him in the city just, and you're like, the fuck, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't trying to get in the restaurant, but you would. Is that what the
somewhere.
fuck? You know, like you should be. When do you ever sleep? But then that's sort of those moments. I always thought like and very very vividly in my head, like I do not want to be 40, and that. And he was a very nice guy, and I still know him now. I still know him now. I'm very friendly with him, but I didn't want to be that. That was it. You know,
I was very similar.
Yeah, and I'd see these old blokes still moaning about bullshit, and like, oh fuck that.
Moaning, that's the thing.
But I was still living. But I was still living that life, the same life as them. But I was like 20, 25. Yeah.
What got me is that we used to drink at this after work. We used to go to this one place. It was the only place open in Richmond, pretty much. That was in Melbourne. That was open to all hours, and it was kind of a bit of a chef hang, you know, that sort of thing. But it was also just dead shit hang because it was on the back of a pokey area. That's why it was open till like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So it was this outdoor area with heaters, which was great in winter, but you could get beers, and it was just this really odd mix. But you just go in there and just hear people fucking whinge and moan about their life and victim this and that, and then it's like, it's not until recently I've looked back on that and I'm like, I probably did the same thing, and I don't want to whinge. I don't want those thoughts in my head. I don't want those spirals in my head where I'm going down and being like, X, Y, Z, this is the reason, just making shit up. Like just make your brain's just making
people
some
communicate.
stuff up.
Especially in hospitality, a lot of the time we communicate through, you and me hate this other thing. Then you talk to that person, you and me hate that other thing. You know, like, oh, this prep sucks, that person sucks, this service sucks.
Yeah.
That's the bonding.
Nothing unites a
experience.
kitchen more than a bad fucking boss.
Bad front of house manager.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You forget you're into fucking civil war.
Yeah, you forget your fucking feet hurt, hey?
You're not
you just
behind
get
that.
going.
You're like, fuck
I think
that
it's a
cunt,
human
right?
thing, though. It's like you're bonding through hate of something over there.
Countries do that. They're like, they start a war with another country so we can sort our domestic shit out, you know?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Galvanize your whole country. Totally.
Yeah.
Except for Ukraine, obviously getting tanked right now.
Yeah,
Poor
but I mean,
fellas.
like, they're still pumping out
They're still
certain types
bonded.
of propaganda.
We like an
as well.
underdog.
Yeah. I guess so.
Bonding it up. Let's have another story. Let's have a look.
Yeah, sorry, I sidetracked you with...
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's what
You
they
did the
send them
right
in.
thing. Don't apologise.
Here we go.
Sort that out with your psychologist.
G'day, gents. Chris here again. You're speaking about dropping stuff reminded me of a time that I was working at a certain cricket ground in East Perth. I was asked to work one of the major functions just before the start of the season.
There's only one.
And right as the speeches started, I dropped an entire tray of champagne fruits down the back of a woman's dress.
Fuck yeah.
I apologised profusely. The manager, we did everything. I believe that her dry cleaning was covered. but it was the last time I actively tried to wend a tray of champagne flutes through a crowded dining room. Keep up the great work.
That was a recent one.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we were talking about like how much we respect the waiters that actually, or waitresses, whoever front of house that actually carry the high stem glasses and just never drop them on those canapé parties and things. Yeah.
We were so secretive about the whacker. That
Yeah, I know.
I was certain. Is it closed?
Well, I feel like he's done his job.
But also, there's only one. And it was like, what?
There are certain.
He hasn't outed anybody, but he has.
I don't know who I
That would
clicked
have been
here.
devastating. Like also to the lady, just boom. It reminds me of a story when I was a kid. My brother and myself and my mum was like a single mum. She's like, I'm going to take these kids to the fucking circus. My older brother's been banging on about it hard, like for ages. Before I go to the circus, decide to eat like a bag of fairy floss and then just hit the jumping castle.
Yeah.
And then like finally like my brother Matt's like, we're going to the fucking circus. So I just get in there and like I'm like 6 and I just throw up down the back of this lady's top.
Wicked.
Like boom down the whole thing. It's bright blue.
Yeah.
And my mum Jen, she had fight or flight in her eyes and she picked flight. She just like this lady hadn't realised it happened. She's wearing like a
Would have
big,
been
like a
warm
big
too,
knit,
eh?
right? And Jen's just like, I've got 8 seconds before this can't fucking realise what's going on. Grabbed both of us and just got out of there and
pretty
drove home. My brother's in tears, right? Like, I wanted to go to the circus.
Yeah. We're fucking leaving. Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
Those circuses were so good though when we were kids. Obviously, it was like all animal abuse and like probably slaves too.
I
Like,
never thought about that.
yeah.
I did outside catering for a circus once.
What do you mean?
I was
Like,
a part of the
wait.
team.
Like, I understand what you mean, but I mean, what kind of circus?
Like
was it?
before
Cirque du
food
Soleil?
trucks were a thing.
Yeah, we brought in the hot boxes and a bunch of trays and a truck.
Did you feed the lions that were chained up?
I remember
The
there-
monkeys?
I remember there being animals.
Did you feed the bearded lady?
Did you have to whip the
I think we had a
elephant?
bearded lady as a sous chef. Yeah, it was really random. There was like a big pitch tent. It had all the things.
Yeah.
All the stuff. It was out somewhere. It was in here in WA.
Yeah.
So random.
They just pitch it up. They used to pitch them up in every park. I haven't seen it for years
We did
now.
a plate service. If I
course you
remember.
What do you mean plate service?
Like we laid down big trestles and like we laid down
Like a long
50
table.
plates
Yeah.
and then did them all up.
And then they got dropped to people at tables?
And
like
then
an
they
alternate
start,
drop?
when they start, like you do them up 3/4 and then someone's sourcing at the end. And then they go and sauce and then from what I remember, waiters grab 3 and
At
go.
the circus.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
In a top hat thing.
Yeah.
I remember peeking in afterwards and being like, this is the most random thing.
That is the most
But I was at
random
the end
thing
of my
ever.
career. Everything was fucking random. I didn't give a shit.
He just showed up, played it up, and just went, I hate this, pack down and go home.
Yeah, I hate those hot boxes, eh?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck, I hate them. You got about 20 minutes and then anything in there's fucked.
Yeah. And then no one gives a fuck either. And you're like, why don't you give a fuck? Why don't you care about this fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think I missed one.
What's up, guys? Your chef friend from Columbus again. I got a good one. I used to work at a place with a wood fire oven, and one of the chefs, who was kind of a drunk, crazy dude, would do this thing called a hot pocket, where he would take the long tongs and grab a hot coal out of the wood fire oven and sneak up behind you and put it in your back pocket, and you had no choice but to let it burn through your pants down your leg or rip your pants off in the middle of the kitchen.
Oh, that's great. That's abuse. I love it.
We gotta put that on the fucking soundboard. Like we gotta the hot
It's just
pocket.
proper abuse. I like that. So your options are let it burn and go down your leg, potentially catch on fire,
Yeah.
or rip your own pants off.
Can you get tongs in your pocket?
I was thinking you got to get it out of your, like you could probably. I was thinking like if you get those real loose, like the checkered ones, you could probably just pop it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending how many times you've, I mean, like you'd after I don't know the third time, you probably had a game plan. If it happens again,
Yeah.
I'll just fucking
drill.
squat, or I don't know.
I would
jump
walk in every morning. I would look that guy in the eyes. I'd be like, you fucking try that shit today. It's over.
The first time that
You're
ever
gonna have to
happened.
threaten fucking violence. Hey, you're like, do you want a Birmingham? I'll fucking knock you.
You have to do that the first time. You have to do it the first time.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those prison things. Just sock him in the face.
It is.
And then see what happens.
Yep.
The biggest bloke.
But you can tell he just thinks it's the funniest thing. Hey,
Yeah.
anyone comes in, anyone new, any new kitchen hand or whatever. Like, watch this.
Hot pocket, yeah.
Surely
hot
that's
You're
gone
literally
wrong
burning
and
him
you've given
for-
people third-degree burns in their
It's
ass.
branding him for
Absolutely.
life. Yeah. 100%.
Serious burning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are taking their pants off, Jarryd.
They're
Hey,
tearing
Briggs, how
them
we
off.
going? So I got a bit of a situation on my hands. I am working with the most arrogant, cocky little piece of shit you have ever met. He's a
Same.
little British kid over here on sponsorship, and I have dressed him down a million ways to Sunday. I have showed him how to do things multiple times, and I can't fire him because he's fucking on the sponsorship. So I'm at my wit's end. I'm like, do I just shut him to the prep bench for the next 4 years, or do I help him even further? Love a bit of advice. Cheers, boys.
Nope. Dishes forever.
I'm against helping people if they're cocky shits.
If they don't want to learn, you can't teach them.
No, but teaching's
unless-
a privilege. Learning's a privilege. You can't be a fuckhead and keep getting taught stuff.
You got two
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Two
I'm with it.
options.
Good. Yeah.
Fuck him off to somewhere so then he's not your problem. Or treat it like a challenge and be like, all right, cool. As a teacher, this is the greatest challenge I've had to date. How should I go about this? Because what I'm doing right now isn't working. And then, so I need to try something else, right?
Well,
so
like-
you might need to go, do you want to be a chef? Or are you just here for a visa?
Yeah.
And then, I think you need to break it down into something.
I think it's like, because these visas can be hard because that kid kind of knows you can't fire him.
Yeah.
And that can really fuck the whole power dynamic, right?
Yeah, but
you
I
could
think
hot pocket him.
Yeah.
But so why can't you tell this kid, I'll fucking fire you
fucked.
and
The
you'll
government
lose
will
your
get involved.
sponsorship? Why can't,
Yeah.
even if you can't actually do it, like even talk to the owner and be like, look, we got to give this kid a strike or a warning or something and fucking make him shit himself.
So like around about maybe 2011 to 2014-ish, I used to see a lot of resumes from these types, as in like you got visas, you had a 486, I think it was at the time. I think they don't exist anymore, or they phased them out or something, but it was like you had a
Critical trade, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think you had 2 or 3 years you had to be at a place and you couldn't get rid of them, but you signed them on with that agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But the business did. You didn't. It was just like, and then the business got the money. So there was no benefit for you other than maybe you lucked someone that actually wanted to be there or you trained them or whatever. But there would be a lot of, you could transfer them. So a lot of the hotel chains were doing it. So you'd get awesome resumes and from hotels saying this is an awesome guy. He's already on this visa.
This sounds like the military.
And you would look at it and go, what visa is he on? Or a visa. And you'd go, you just ignore it because it's like they want to get rid of him. But they would deliberately give them like this is the best kitchen we've ever had. They would have a cover letter from the exec chef. Like, why the fuck is this guy sitting down and typing out a cover letter for a 486 visa? Why don't you just keep this awesome guy for yourself? You're already paying him max. They're already on $32 an hour or something like that.
The last place I worked before I went into comedy, I worked there 3 days a week. I was in the kitchen. It was a cafe. And it was 6 Indian dudes that were all on the visa. Right? And I was the only white guy because I knew the boss. And I was like, I just need this fucking job. Also, I don't care about this place. Can you just give me a job? And he's like, yeah, okay. And I was like, I don't care. And he's like, and I'm going to do a bad job. He's like, you're fine. All right, you can have a job. So I used to work with all these Indian guys that used to speak Hindi, right? And it was fucking sick, right? And I had to learn like some borderline Hindi to like keep it going, right?
I can't rate this.
And I, in the process, understood how to interpret the Indian head wobble, right? So we have yes and we have no.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in India. They have a different system.
Okay.
Right? So if I'm talking to you and you understand what I'm talking about, you will just start, that means I know what you're going, like, let's fucking...
We got this.
Let's got this. But if they give one big little up, down, that's the equivalent
Not
of us
sure.
going like...
Yeah, right.
Going, huh? Right? So then, so I knew the code, right?
That's so
So one of
funny.
the other guys, took him to the pub and I was like, teach me about the head wobble, bro. And he's like, so he decoded it for me. So then I'm trying to tell this other guy, and I'm like, so what you got to do is like, got to cut this, do that, do this. And he's going, yes, boss, no worries. And then he did the thing. And I was like, I know.
Yeah, you fucking got it.
You don't know what I'm fucking talking about.
Do you want to give that away though?
Let me show you,
It's
right?
involuntary, I guess, then, is it?
Right, it's just
like,
a mannerism, but it's just different
It's a
for a different culture.
communication yeah.
But then one day, like the boss gathered everyone around, and they were like, "We need to have a meeting with the staff because there's
Pretty
been a racism issue." And I'm like, "It's
shit.
me." I'm like, "It has to be." Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I would
"Oh,
think
really
that
that
too.
bad?" I mean, all we talk about all day is cricket. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, blah blah blah, and I'm like, "What have I done? What have I fucking done?" Right? And we sit them all down, and I'm just like, There's 6 Indian dudes and me, and I'm like,
has to be you.
Guys, I'm not sure what's happened here. I'm really sorry. And then the boss comes along, and then they go, we need to talk because and then it turned out that the Indian guys were being racist to another Indian guy because he's from one part of India.
Punjab.
And I was like, oh fuck, I'm in the clear. Sorry.
They're like, oh shit, I was calling him that too.
Well, we can't tease him for the hat.
That's hilarious.
You're like, wait, I don't get it. Aren't they all just brown Indian people? What's going on here?
We had a scuffle in the kitchen once, exactly the same thing, but it was like instant. This one, we had a kitchen hand. I don't know his name. Never talked to him. It's just whatever. Dark, very dark African guy. I would have, I don't know where, Congo-ish, like very fucking dark.
Central.
Another guy walked into the kitchen to start, and they fucking just started fighting. And it turned out to be that. They had one was a nose thing.
Okay.
So I don't know what it was. I'd love to know these names now. But one of them was like a nose like this, and the other, but they were from the same country.
Fucking beef.
It was just like on site beef. They didn't know each other. They were yelling all kinds of shit. We don't understand. It was just like stop. It was just stop the fight. None of you are employed.
Yeah.
But it was like this guy would be employed for 2 days. He found this other guy through the same agency. Instant fight. Instant.
Wow.
Like it was like loud. Like I just remember it being like, and we're like, what the fuck's going on right there? And then it was just like fucking clang, clang, like just wrestling. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And then it turned out to be that.
Cool.
Turned out to be like...
You got a civil war in the background.
No, it's full civil war.
It into other countries. That's
We didn't understand. Same country.
Is it still civil if it's in another country?
I know. Like this, yeah. Like they've moved away from the Civil War and then gone on site. We're gonna fucking fuck
anywhere
you
else
up.
in the world on site.
It's not over for us, motherfuckers.
Holy shit! I've never but also, oh dude, I've never felt weaker in my life. And I thought I was strong. And just this, oh my god!
You had to call in the UN.
I know. I feel like Herb D.
Quick,
Just
someone
like
put on a
fucking
blue
trying to
t-shirt.
Dude,
These guys are going at it.
I've never felt that. Just like they actually wanted to kill each other. Like just looking, like looking.
I respect it.
For fucking shit to grab.
You ever work with a Greek and a Turkish person?
Yeah.
In the same place?
Yeah.
It's the best, man.
Yeah.
They fight about like
But
where their food comes from.
But it's
They're
very...
Like, we invented that. No, we invented that.
Do they?
Boys,
But
you're
it's
all
very
all
cool.
the same place.
It's very cool though. Like they're aggressive, but it's actually funny.
I think they like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it sometimes, I'm like, this is about to explode.
Yeah.
And you're just talking about the origin of baklava, right?
Yeah.
But to them, it's just I guess it's, I don't know, it's Australia, New Zealand stuff. Like, there's maybe some rivalry. It's decent banter.
No, we're just too calm. Like those Europeans, they go at it. They like a little bit more emotion, don't they?
Yeah.
Watch a soccer game.
In their day. Yeah, we're just too calm. We're boring.
I used to sell halloumi to someone that was Greek, and it was the halloumi was from Cyprus, and I don't even think it should be called halloumi. They were like, it's called halloum or something, and you're like, do you want it? You know what I mean? Like that's as mad as much as I care about this right now. It's sold by the unit. Yeah, that's about it. And they're like, but it's very insulting to call halloumi Greek. And I was like, I never did. But this has didn't have a Greek flag on it, but it was like, it was fucking blue and white.
Because they all are.
Yeah, of course, because it's fucking Greek. Right?
Good marketing.
And it was like, do
strong.
you want it? It's like, this is good, but it's from Cyprus. It's not Greek. And I'm like, so the invoice is for like, Jesus Christ, 4 units. But I like, I like that banter between them, not the banter between me and them, because I will give up. But I don't understand. I don't care to understand. It makes no sense to me at all. It's cheese.
Could be beer for Australians. If someone came up to me and they were like, "Oh, this VB's from WA," I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself, buddy."
Fuck you. But people do that. They say it's licensed. They say it's licensed by fucking Lion now. All that shit. And you're like,
Foster, if you're like, this Foster's Australian, like, mate, I've never drank it.
It's a fuck.
Bullshit.
It's the same thing too. It's the same thing.
Emu.
Or toast better on tap in the UK. You're like, that's cool.
It used to shit me about working at Cutler, the 2 Hatted places. They had the worst staff beer. They wouldn't let us drink anything. At the end, you'd work for 14 hours a day, and they would have 1 slab of Melbourne
Oh, yeah.
Was it
Melbourne
just
bitter.
in the fridge for
cans?
you?
In cans.
Ah.
The maroon and gold
100%.
cans.
Yeah.
Like, they're okay, but it's like, oi, there's fucking, let us out anything. Come on, we've been literally slaving here.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. There would just be,
buying
sometimes there'd be
blocks.
like slabs just for you. That's yours. That's for the team. I forgot about that
So you
shit.
can't keep
But
it in the kitchen, can you?
No, it wouldn't be. Well,
We had two
okay.
fridges. We had a produce fridge and then a prep, and stuff that was unprepped and stuff that was prepped.
Yeah.
So it was just in the unprepped stuff.
I
in
would.
cans.
I wouldn't see it in both, but it would definitely not last in the kitchen fridge. But
We
there
were
was-
not allowed to drink at work though. We were like hardcore. But then like
Yeah,
the
that's
next place
fine.
that
But
I
people
ran,
would
we were.
steal it still.
On pack down, no beer.
No, not too finished. Which is on paper, it's a great rule. I mean, I think morale is strong. You need to create morale.
Yeah.
And if by having someone having a beer when you mop creates morale, then I think that's a lesser of two evils.
I
right?
think it's like a.
It's also an insurance thing, though, right? Someone hurts themselves well.
Yeah, you can't.
I guess I never thought about insurance once.
I have a lot, just because I think maybe I was involved in it.
I had a good,
every now and then.
When I was a head chef, I had a good team, and they taught us a lot about that.
Yeah.
And things to think about, and we'd always try to do dumb shit. And they're like, "Hey, think about this thing if it goes worst case scenario."
Yeah,
And
you're all
like,
fucked.
"Oh yeah." They're like, "You don't stand on these milk crates and clean this thing high whilst drinking." Like, it's,
I think I think you have to take it. You can't just go, okay, 10:45 p.m. you get beers. I just think you can't do that. I think you have to go developing on what the day's been. Like if you have an epic day, just go. Everyone just chill out for a sec. Here's 4 beers, one each or whatever, and just take a sec. Like you said, mop. Cool. We're not getting up on the fucking. We're not taking out the filters. 4 beers deep, right? Like,
Yeah.
But I think I think it's a service. I've always thought it like a service to service.
Yeah, and those mini rewards,
Decisions.
like you're saying, camaraderie through mini rewards. Fuck, that was crazy. You guys did a great, like just an epic service.
Yeah, but it means
let's
more.
get a beer. Even
It means more going at the very end of service. Go, you know what? Just chill. Here's fucking beers, and then just let it on the bench. I don't know, one of those things. And like you said, like people can go about their day or go about the finishing of the fridges or whatever, and have it there. They can decide. That's when you see people decide not to drink. They'll just have it there and go, cool. But I still need to get my fridge fully done. And then they'll sit there and go, but it's an appreciation, right? But if you did that every day and you had the beers as you still had fucking fire going on, you had the coals lit, you had like you said.
desserts are still running. I've seen it.
Yeah, for sure.
They had as soon as the kitchen closed, beers are on. You know that, and like the pass closes like 9:30.
I still don't know
got
about
an
that.
hour to go.
I still don't know about that.
Yeah, it's
Only
fucking-
because I know that's what I would.
mayhem.
I would destroy myself doing it.
Yeah, it's mayhem.
But I know that myself as an apprentice.
There's a whole bunch of 1%ers that happen in the last 30 minutes of a kitchen.
Yeah.
They can really like change the professionalism of the place.
Yeah.
And I think those decisions are better made clear to when you can go, we'll figure that's like saying like that's a tomorrow job when you're not in tomorrow's mind is difficult enough sober. Let alone and a lot of those 1%ers exist in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Where you
Isn't
just
that,
like
that's sort of leading back to the mental health stuff, because you have to have a personality that's like, I'll do every job before I leave. Like that mentality of like every single thing. Because when you're getting to the end of a night and you're like, I'll just finish that. I'll just finish that. I'll just finish that. Other people don't have that. They're like, we're close enough. We're good enough. I'm out. But kitchens weren't like that. They were, the more that you got, so like even now when I'm finishing up at home or something, it's like 6 o'clock. I'm like, I'll just finish that. I'll just finish that. And then it's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I'll just finish that. And then I've gone 3 hours over what I should have done. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out
excellence
how
is addictive. Right?
Yeah.
How to be normal.
That's the whole thing. If it's how to be normal. That's the theme of the day.
Mm.
It's hard. It's hard to be normal. But go back to the drinking thing. It's like I think having a beer in that time is much more powerful if it's decided by one person randomly.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can go like what you're saying, fellas. Take a minute.
Yeah.
Have a beer. It's been hard, but we're gonna pack down properly.
Yeah.
There's as many of these as you want after it's done. Like
In your own time, fuckers.
But then 10 days of just like, having a great standard and then just being like, off you go. Like, it's just that. It's those little things that go.
Yeah.
And reading the people reading the room, right?
How can you read the room if 6 of them are from India?
We never used to drink
the
that.
head
It just
nod.
didn't-
If everyone's got their head on the side like this, like, shit, I need to get some beers in here.
when you're working
Cunt.
in a like a kitchen where you're all like in tune at least, right? It's interesting to be able to read the room of the chefs and be like, old mate's girlfriend's just fucking left him.
Yeah.
The guy in the
totally.
in the kit
Yeah.
in the
Tim hasn't said
dishwasher
anything
thing
all day.
right? And you got to learn how to be like pick up on non-verbal cues, right?
Yeah.
And we're just like working hard, but then going up to some like you, Tim, and just being like, "You right, dude?" And
No.
you're like, "Nah, but I'll be fine."
No, how
and then
much
to be able,
are- how
and being
much
able to
are-
read
I
that
would
and be
never-
like,
I would never ask Tim.
but then being able to read that and be like,
I would
"Is
just
he
never ask
fine or
the
not?"
person.
Like
Yeah.
it's a real interesting.
I would always
dance.
ask, like, if that was Tim, I would always ask it way late.
Once they're better.
Far too late in that shift to make it an issue.
Uh-huh.
Because it was like, not without being selfish, just like you could ruin this whole team if you just start blurting out shit or
or
you just seem like, I'm not cool. Everyone knows you're not cool, by the way, because of how you've done the 4-hour
you're doing.
shift or 4-hour service. But it's like, all right, we're not going to, but I would rather go, let's get it done, or even help you.
Yeah.
Jump without saying dick. Just go,
Help the
just start
person.
wrapping stuff for you. Just start whatever. Not being a dick, just going boom, 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 and then go. Everything's done a little bit quicker, maybe.
That's the
I'm
key.
on the phone ordering it, and then going, we'll get the beers, and then go, and then being outside maybe and just going, you're right. You know what I mean? Like that's But inside the kitchen, it's such a weird dynamic. Asking if someone's okay, because I think you don't want to say it either around other people. Like if you say, Tim, you're all right. You're not all right, eh? That's fucking the dumbest shit ever. In my head, now I'm thinking about it, if there's other people around you, because I don't think, everyone knows it. Everyone knows the dynamic. When I wasn't cool, everyone fucking knew it. And it wasn't anything I did other than I just wasn't vocal.
Yeah.
I got into myself.
You're
and just
quiet, angry,
straightforward.
Quite angry, yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't even like angry. If I was angry, it was to do with something other than work.
So you just want to get your shit done.
I don't want to talk about this stupid girlfriend I had when I was 20. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. It was like
The amount of kitchens I've worked in though, where
I had a
they're
flat
like,
tire, all that sort of shit. Just anything that was outside of work, I was like, fuck this. Just couldn't get it done.
doesn't the question, "Are you all right?" usually get followed up with, "Can you just shut the fuck up and do your job?"
Yeah.
No, it's not like, "Are you all right?" They're like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Can you shut the fuck up? Because you're doing a terrible job right now. No one cares about your life.
Yeah.
Finish the job."
Yeah, because
the amount of times I saw that come out of people's mouths.
Yeah, but like, are you all right? As in, like, you're all right, mate.
Yeah.
Not like, you're all right.
You're doing a bad job. I don't
As
care.
in, like, you're fucking this up.
Yeah. I don't care you're about to have a baby. You're doing a
I
terrible
think
job.
everyone knew when someone was going through something themselves. And I think as long as they did their job.
Help them
help
pack
'em.
down or help them wrap something.
And then the next day you knew that the guy was all right or the person was all right with you.
I worked at a place that had a monthly check-in, as in like you sit down with the head chef and they go, and it went for about an hour and a half.
Jesus.
And it happened every month. And I took that and I did it when I ran a place. It was very effective. Being able to like talk to people and then go, what do you want? What do you want from this month? And they go, they'll tell you stuff you didn't know. They were like, I really want to put like something on the menu. And you're like, okay, what do you thinking?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I was thinking this, and this. I'm like, well, fucking chuck it on the order list and play around with it. Show us your roster. All right, well, let's get it up by Thursday. And like giving them the ability to, your own inner narrative when you're working and you're like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck everything else. No one knows that. That's just you.
Yeah.
And like no one's a mind reader because in their head they've always got that, they've got their own fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck this. So just like being able to like give people direction and purpose is really powerful.
Yeah.
A question that I would ask them is, if someone offered you another job, what would keep you? And they would often say, I've actually really wanted to not work Mondays and Tuesdays or whatever because of this X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Like we can probably do that every second week because they're easy days. Or someone's like, I want a weekend off. And you're like, well, how are we going to make this work? Why don't you come to me with a solution by the end of the week? Why don't you come to me with something? And then we'll just figure it out.
It's very progressive.
It's fucking, because when I had it on me, I was like, at the time I was flying back to Queensland all the time. And I was like, And I just said to my head chef in fine dining, I was like, I'd rather work like 6 days a week and then get 4 days off, like every now and then. And he was like, done. And I was like, oh shit, you can ask for shit. Like you can just like, you can vocalize stuff and then you can make it happen and you can work your life around that. And I always thought that was really good. And I decided to take it when there. And the other thing when I was in charge is then every time you sit down with someone, it's been like, where do you think I went best this month and where do you think I did the worst?
As the head chef?
As the boss, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And they would be like...
What is this, communism?
You'd be surprised because like some people don't want to say stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then other people would be like, this happened and we really needed you. And like, you weren't there. Right?
Yeah. So I've always...
And when people tell you the truth, it's fucking intimidating. It's And you're like, okay, cool, I'll get better at that.
It's
like
it's very hard face to face too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you create an environment
not
where
hard,
like it's okay,
but I mean like it's very,
you get the answers of like, get out of your own fucking head, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everything, right? Because everyone's doing that individually. So then when you leave, you have this narrative where like, I'm going to leave and they're going to be fucked. Guess what? If they're not, it's just going to keep going, right? So just trying to like create the space to like talk and get people's goals ahead is powerful.
Very cool.
So when I used to start a job, I used to always say that, like very vocal about, I need Sunday, Monday off. I don't give a fuck. At the time I had a small kid as well during this, whatever, but I used to always do it. And then so we'll give you a contract and then it would never be in there. And I'll be like, well, you know, you can, and I always say to people like, you know, you can just talk about a contract. You have to sign it. You know what I mean? Like it's always a very general contract. Like you're the chef, this is your money, and then everything else is like we're basically going to ask you to do whatever we want you to do. If you say you want Monday and Tuesday off, they'll be go, oh, wicked. That way we on the roster. It's actually a very easy roster to write then for another person because like, oh, that means the head chef, if you're the Sue, can adjust. Oh fuck, I can guarantee Tuesday or whatever, right? Or Wednesday or whatever. But like, I don't think people, I think people realise that you can just say. There's all of the chances in the world that you'll get what you want, and it's not like you're picking and choosing anything like that. It's just like, oh, you know, and you start a job, and then you're like, oh, how'd you get this roster? It's like, well, when I started, I said, can I have this? If they said no, I would just be on to the next place because I couldn't do it to myself. I couldn't do it for my the structure of my family at the time. Yeah, daycare and all that sort of stuff. So it's like,
if they say no, you're in the same place you are.
Yeah,
as if you never asked at all.
Yeah, and by the way, I still had a job. Had a job, or I can get 4 days a week, fucking whatever.
Walk down the road.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about this audio guy though. What if it doesn't sound like he's done this. What if he sits him down for an hour and a half conversation? Because it sounds like he's giving him the old school method of just dressing him down. Like, I got to break this kid. Until,
like a horse.
Which is what my first attitude was. I was like, just break him. But
yeah.
But maybe you take this new school attitude. What if you sat down for an hour and a half and you just say, what do you want? What do you need? Because this is what I want. This is what I need.
Yep.
And it's not happening. Okay. So what can we do?
It might be that this kid wants to prove something, that he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that he's great. And he might not be doing enough to fulfill that thing.
A lot of confidence comes from fear, right?
Totally.
Like trying to mask maybe being inadequate or feeling scared, or maybe he doesn't think that he's as good as the other guys, and I know this, I know that, that attitude.
Give him a task without a recipe. So my head chef at Cutler & Co, Rory Coucher, fucking great guy, he was awesome to me, but he would, like, whenever he hired someone, he would be like, I don't get him to do anything except I just give them a couple of things that you should be able to make without a recipe.
Yeah.
And I go, hey for staffies, I want you to do this, and this first. Do whatever recipe you want, whatever. We don't really care too much. Just make sure it's delicious. And just watch if people freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
And see if they can think on their own.
Yeah.
This kid might need to break out of whatever shell that he's doing, and you might be frustrated because of that. But if you don't ask him, you don't know.
Yeah, sit down for an hour.
Give him a challenge, or give him a challenge that can humble it.
Because it is old school to say, I'll just prep this kid for 3 months, right? It's punishment, punish and reward, rather than what you're talking about is this sort of new school talking to people.
You're like listening.
Yeah.
What you could say is let's call him Kyle.
Doing, right?
You go, hey,
just talk to him.
You go, hey Kyle, there's a new menu coming up in 3 months. I want you to have one main ready for me. Actually, I want you to have 3 mains. We're going to pick one out of them to go. So like, if you can get back to me with concepts at the end of the week, pop, and just watch someone just be fucking challenged and fulfilled, and maybe drown. And then once you're drowning, they might go, I need a hand with this.
Yeah.
And then you might break them that way.
That's,
It's
that,
different breaking.
that's what my apprenticeship was. As soon as I started, they were like, you got to put one salad on the menu. And I was like, what? You know, like, what does that mean? Like, is it like a whatever, 3 weeks in sort of thing? And then they're like, it doesn't matter, everyone's doing it. The menu changed every week, or half every 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And then, but that was where that started. And you could go, and then you went, I don't know what I'm doing. But that it bred the head chef to ask you, because they were on the clock to do them actually themselves doing the menu. Yes, you're right, but I've never thought about it like that. I've thought about it like I liked learning, but I didn't realize how I was learning. So yeah, fuck, that's cool.
I had trouble in the army with that. People would want to break people all the fucking time. Like, and if you want to break someone in the military, you can hard. Like, you can, like, physically, you can bash them, right? And when I was in, you could bash them. And when I got promoted and I had soldiers underneath me, it was like I got beaten up when I was a digger, when I was a private, for being late, and it was very good for me at the time. And I was not late for a long time. But then when I got in charge, I didn't really want to do that. I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I didn't have that in my fucking vision board, you know, to be like a hard cunt.
Well, if you had any kind of vision board, bro, yeah.
So
probably.
then I had this one digger that he'd get pissed every night and rock up late for work. I was like, you can't do that. So, and my boss was like, he needs to be fucking sorted out because like my boss is going to breathe down my neck, right? And
yeah, that's crazy.
Usually you'd be like, there's a big hill out the back of the base and you're like, I want 8 laps of that thing, and you'd stand at the bottom and just fucking like, as they come through every lap, you'd just, I don't know, berate them and something.
Yeah.
Right. I decided, well, like I said, I'm going to do it with you. And I'm going to set, I was very fit at the time. So I'm like, you got to keep up with me.
Yeah.
And then we're doing 8 of these laps. But then at the 5 mark, when we're both at the top and there's no one around and we're both just like spitting and spewing, I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he's like, my dad just died.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you should, like, where is he? He's like, he's in Brisbane. And it's like, have you organised to like go down there? And he's like, no, I didn't want to tell anyone. I'm like, why not?
Because I want to get bashed, yeah.
And it's like, well, let's get you to Brisbane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like, I don't know, just talking to people is interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
I was always like a very psychological guy too. I would always just watch people and then go pick the exact, what I thought right moment was to say, you know, I can just do all of that for you if you want to go home.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then just...
That cuts.
Yeah, and then and that's when that thing happens. Because that fucking really hits you hard. That's a slap across the face. And then they'll be like, my dad's dead.
Yeah.
He's in Brisbane. Blah, 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 blah. Or whatever. But it meant you knew there was... But you just knew. You just knew there was something going on. How the fuck do I get it out of you? But you can't... I just always thought I could never... and my own opinion was like I could never get it out of people without doing that. Mm-hmm. I couldn't. No, I'm not. If I bashed you, you would just go.
Just close up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's nice.
That's it.
I think
we're definitely done.
Yeah, we're done. Good job, team.
Thanks, stories left?
No cameras left.
Oh.
That's how we know when the podcast is over.
Oh, you just run it until it's dead.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a nice method.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Lizard Jew. No, it was Laser Jew. Sorry. Lizard Jew.
Lizard Jew.
Lizard Jew's surreal.